it's an interesting time to have you, obviously, which any time is, but especially given what's been happening within the market. Today looks a lot different than the last couple of days have. The market obviously concerned with what's happening on the spending side of the hyperscalers and this big build out in AI. What's your take from that, the way the market continues to react to this?
Demand is sky high, and there's a fundamental reason for that. We're in the once-in-a-generation infrastructure build-out. This is the largest infrastructure build-out in human history, and there's a fundamental reason for that. Artificial intelligence is going to fundamentally change how we compute everything. Everything from database processing, the way we do search, the way we do recommender systems, you shop, the way you watch movies, and of course, these new agentic systems that are being developed and evolved. This last year, we saw an inflection point in AI. AI became super useful. No longer hallucinating, it's generating informed content, it's reasoning, it's thinking, it's doing research, it's able to use tools. All of a sudden, AI over the last couple of years went from being curious to super useful. The inflection point also came with it, profitable tokens. Anthropic is making great money. OpenAI is making great money. If they could have twice as much compute, the revenues would go up 4 times as much. I mean, literally, these guys are so compute constrained, and the demand is so incredibly great. The number of enterprise users, the number of consumer users, the number of startups that are being built on top of these companies, it's just going through the roof.
So when you see numbers that are, frankly, remarkable, that $660 billion this year will be spent by the hyperscalers as we continue to learn, like we did from Amazon last night. You sit back and think to yourself, that's completely justified based on what you see?
It is appropriate and sustainable. And the reason for that is because all of these companies' cash flows are going to start rising. You know, people are comparing it to cash flows. One of those numbers are wrong. It's just the cash flow is wrong. We are addressing the largest software opportunity in history. For the very first time, software is not just a tool. A tool is like Excel. Now software uses tools. So these AIs use Excel. And so I think the opportunity for this new era of software is incredible. And we're seeing it already moving the earnings of Meta. Nobody uses AI better than Meta. And so if you look at the way that they're using AI, AI went from a classical recommender system running on CPUs to now a generative AI agentic system that is making recommendations. Everything from the way social media works and the way they recommend ads and help advertisers create content has fundamentally been changed. And their earnings show it. And that's the reason why they're investing so hard. They see just a much larger future potential for it. And not just one company. This is going to affect AWS's shopping and the way they recommend goods. This is going to affect how Microsoft's enterprise software works. Every single company sees the same inflection point, and that's why everybody's leaning in so hard of it.
Can you blame, in some ways, investors who have PTSD from the last time tech went through this revolution and evolution at the same time for seeing certain things that remind them of then and worry that they'll happen again?
It's good to always reflect on history. History informs us, but history doesn't repeat. And so you have to take into consideration what's actually happening. Always go back to first principles and think about what is actually happening. Right now, the fundamental difference, a huge difference between now and some things that happened in the past with the internet, there was a ton of dark fiber. There are no dark GPUs. 100% of the GPUs are rented. In fact, GPUs that we sold 6 years ago, the prices are going up. It's not like it's antique. I mean, it's incredible. It's like a fine wine. The demand is so high that GPUs I sold 6 years ago are going up in price. And so I think the demand is just incredibly high for the reasons that I just said. One, we went through an inflection point. AI has become useful and very, very capable. Two, the adoption of it is incredibly high. And three, because these AIs are thinking, the amount of computation it needs is great. And so to the extent that people continue to pay for the AI and the AI companies are able to generate a profit from that, they're going to keep on doubling.